She's gonna sit right there if you just want to
Okay.
plop it right there. You going anywhere this weekend?
No, I'm supposed to go to South Dakota next week for 5 days.
Bird hunting?
I don't.
You're not bird hunting, I
No.
gather.
I just drive. They go into this little poor side town. I said,
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably need to reposition, maybe to Rapid City.
Yeah.
How's everybody?
Good morning.
How you doing?
On this beautiful day. You doing well?
What you got on?
Thank you.
Beautiful color.
Thank you. I think so too. I always like you in it.
Might take good money.
I'm gonna put it about yourself. I've never seen you there.
I've never
Absolutely.
been to Rushmore. I've never seen it.
Mount Rushmore? Yeah.
So that's what I said, I think I'm gonna reposition over to Rapid City.
And do a little sightseeing.
And get
That'd be
rent
fun.
cars.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
ride up the state here, because I'm ready to check out my ball.
Well, trouble, Mike.
I don't think there's too much going on this time of year.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
We got, yeah, 3 seats. They'd be all right, though.
We'll try. How y'all? Good morning, Alderman Bond.
How you?
I'm good. Good.
What's your name?
I'm never sure who wants to be
Still
super
warm.
formal about titles.
It's gonna be the same, yeah, it's gonna be the same.
It's like, okay.
Did you get them out late yesterday? I thought Cody said he added something late yesterday.
He did, but it's on the,
Is it? Okay.
the rejection of
Yeah.
the bids.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to have a moment to think what was.
Sorry. I just knew he said he'd done it late, so I didn't know how late you got these.
It was on the e-packet I got.
Okay.
I had a little problem with the firewall and stuff yesterday. I was about 7:30 finishing it last night.
Okay. Well, I had a feeling if you were doing that,
Do
it
things slow down before you go flying at Thanksgiving, or does it just speed up?
It was the utilities emails I was having trouble with. I was
Okay.
scared.
Yeah, because Greg Piper, he'll want to flip it around. He said something yesterday about going to Dallas and then over to Arkansas.
You know, I was thinking Roy Oswald was your big client.
Huh?
You know, I was thinking Roy Oswald was the one that would keep you busy.
That's like some empty chairs. And
Do you know, I don't have a clue what my blood type is.
what that what?
I don't have a clue what my blood type is.
Do you not? Really?
I could be AB negative for all I know.
I'm A positive.
I was
I'm
gonna
just
say
sort of
if
a
I-
generic.
If I were a betting girl, I'd go O positive.
Yeah. You're an O positive? Are you the, no, the negative is a universal donor.
No, the positive.
O positive is a universal donor? Have you given it recently?
I don't do it.
Why not? Mike?
I just don't.
I don't either, but it's.
Well, no way you don't.
Yeah. They don't want mine.
Just makes me do it.
Okay, well, all right. Not gonna shame you into it.
You're not, I'm too old.
Well, that's true. Well,
I tried this time too, and I got just,
Lightheaded?
yeah, both times. I said,
Oh,
"Shit, I
okay.
don't
Not,
do
not
it."
enough cookies in the world.
I don't know, that's right.
Well, that's interesting, because I go for the Oreos and the Nutter Butters.
Mine usually also has a tendency to come out so slowly that it clots sometimes before it.
That's not fun.
No.
Okay.
No, it's kind of useless,
Yeah.
in addition to the.
Here you are.
Health
Hey, how are
reasons.
you doing, Ham?
What?
Good morning.
Are you stiff necked?
Hi.
I'm sorry.
That's an awful feeling.
Thank you.
Try to make sure you don't look one direction.
It takes a while to clear it up, so.
Your
I'm
muscle
sure
relaxing,
I was gonna
just-
say, I'm sure time helps, Aleve or Tylenol kinda helps, but mostly time, yeah.
That'd be my yoga.
Yeah, you're not gonna do a head flip, that's for sure.
Well, I'm hoping it's a quick session, because I want to get over to First Methodist while they still have casseroles and cakes.
Oh, is this their weekend for doing that? I didn't
This
remember that.
morning.
Okay.
So talk fast, everybody.
Well,
Yeah, I got it.
Derek is gonna give us a quickie on the museum, and then we'll go into it. He was gonna do it a few months ago, and we got our dates screwed up, so.
That didn't sound good.
And Corey is here.
Good, how are y'all?
Yes. Hey, Chief.
I'm like camp, turning kind of
Turn,
positional
whole body
turning.
turn? Yeah.
If, Alderman Beatty, if as part of all this you find a fabulous pillow, let me know, because I get kind of I get a little bit of that, not that bad lately, but, and,
I'll see you coming.
yeah.
Who's doing, oh, Edward, yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. He's got a number of things on the agenda. I don't think they're a big deal, but
Felt pretty routine.
yeah.
All right, I called you all today.
Hey, Ralph.
Oh,
I
I'm
must,
sorry.
I
You
must have missed that message.
How's everyone?
How are you?
Silence your phone.
I already have.
Okay, just check.
Thank you. And we're down to 1 minute. So, he's up there. You can talk to him. He's on the line.
It's a constituent issue. I don't think I want to.
Okay. Edward be looking for a text.
I think you got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I have a thumbs up. So we are Facebook Live for our work session today. This is in preparation for our recess meeting, November the 19th, next week. So first we have a presentation by Derek Aaron, who's the Executive Director of Oktibbeha County Heritage Museum. And he has brought with him the Friends of the Museum President, Stephen Canetta, and then Corey Gallo, who's the Board of Trustees President. So Derek was going to come to us a couple months ago, and we got our timeline crossed up, so he has agreed to come back this week and give us an update on what's going on out at the museum. So you are welcome. If you want to come down here where everybody can see you, and can just kind of shift your body to watch.
I need to get you a swivel chair.
Yeah, just kind of give us an update. I think everybody's got a handout, so we can follow along and you can ad lib as you like.
Well, to start off with, I wanted to thank you for your continued support of the museum. We cannot achieve our mission without your support, and it's greatly appreciated. My name is Derek Aaron. I'm the Executive Director of the Heritage Museum. I was hired in January of 2023 after retiring from teaching for 30 years. I was hired to assist with programming, maintaining the museum, working with the volunteers, and increasing the visibility of the museum. We have a board of trustees who oversee the day-to-day management of the museum. Corey Gallo is our current board chair. We also have a Friends of the Museum board, which assists in raising funds for the museum. Stephen Pinetto is the president of the Friends. The Oktibbeha County Heritage Museum was established in 1976 to celebrate our nation's 200th birthday. The museum is housed in an 1874 Mobile and Ohio Railroad depot. The museum contains exhibits related to Oktibbeha County, its heritage, and its people. Museum visitors. I am pleased to provide some information about the number of visitors to the museum over the last 3 years. You can see we had a large increase in 2023, and we are on track to see similar results in 2024. Previously, the hours were Tuesday through Thursday from 1 to 4 and was staffed only with volunteers. We now have extended our hours from 9 hours per week to 19 hours per week. We have 14 volunteers who work 3 hours 1 day a month. They are scheduled to work from 1 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday. Programs. Since I've been at the museum, we've had almost 1 program per month. You can see a list of them on your sheet. During 2023, we created a new presentation area with a maximum capacity of 50 people. It includes a new projector, projection screen, and audio system. Some of our speakers even included Mayor Spruill and Vice Mayor Roy Perkins. Community engagement. We've been working to increase community engagement with our programs, using social media to promote museum and activities, and participating in other city programs like Pumpkin Palooza and the upcoming Christmas parade. Also, we are very pleased to be working with the master gardeners who maintain the grounds around the museum. New donations and acquisitions. As you can see from the list, we are continuing to add new items to our collection. We just received the Philip Goodman World War II memorabilia and uniforms. We have more high school memorabilia, the Cool Papa Bell bus from the city, Grace Holly Ball Bryan's Maypole dress, Choctaw Indian baskets from Mississippi Department of Archives and History, Brookwood pottery mold, and we just received the Green Beret Philip Wood collection, including his uniforms, medals, and his Green Beret. Exhibit updates. Mississippi State University Museum Studies class under the leadership of Lori Neuenfeld began a process of reorganizing the museum exhibits and recreating the exhibit signage. We hired an MSU Museum Studies student during 2024 to continue recreating exhibit signage, which included our sports section and our agricultural section. Now it's an ongoing process to recreate exhibit signage. We are proud to have the traveling exhibit at the museum in January. The exhibit is from Southern fiber artists who created the Mississippi Quilts exhibit. We are also working with individuals to develop an exhibit about the Needmore community for February for Black History Month. Now I'll pass it over to Steve Canetto to talk about the Friends of the Museum.
Good morning. So the Friends of the Museum was established in 2008 as another way of raising funds for the museum, to support the museum. Of course, these funds are there to support the activities, the programs, and the maintenance of the facilities. And this obviously supplements the funding that we receive from the city and from the county. The Friends is a 501c3 nonprofit organization established by the Secretary of State's office. And we do have two major activities that we do each year. One is, of course, fundraising activities, and then we have a membership drive. Over the past 10 or so years, we've held a variety of functions. The main one that we did for many years was called Denim and Diamonds, and that was a dinner and dance that was held out at the country club. It was great. It raised a good bit of money over the years, but as time has gone on, it's become more and more expensive to host an event like that. Rental cost, the cost of the band, facilities, of course, that's continued to rise over the years. So in 2023, we decided to reevaluate that and come up with a different plan. And so we established in 2023 the Festival of Trees, and we held that at the end of November last year and beginning of December last year. And we raised over $5,000, $6,000, and so we're going to do that again this year as another fundraiser. Basically, the Festival of Trees is a way, we're asking various individuals and organizations and businesses in the community to provide sponsorships. And we have those sponsorships that help us defray the cost of the event. And then we purchase trees. We purchased 10 Christmas trees, pre-lit Christmas trees. And this year we're adding wreaths, so we're purchasing wreaths that are also pre-lit. And then we're asking businesses and organizations to decorate those trees based on their own ideas of their theme. And then we auction those trees off at the end of the event. So it's a silent auction throughout the 3 days. So that'll be, this year's will be December 5th through the 7th. As a part of that, we have a gala the first night, which is December 5th, and you all should be receiving invitations to that soon. But that's also a part of the fundraiser, so it's a $50 per person ticket, and we have wine hors d'oeuvres. And then, of course, the trees are then lit, and the wreaths will be lit, and of course, the silent auction then is opened up. And of course, Eric and his volunteers are decorating the museum, so it's not just the trees and the wreaths, it's also a variety of decorations and exhibits. Many of our volunteers are bringing in some of their own historic ornaments and decorations and having those on display. If any of you know John Wilson and Cam McMillan, they have an extensive collection. So it'll be a very festive event. So we hope you'll join us for that. And then on Friday and Saturday, we are opening the museum for people to come to see the decorations and the trees and continue the silent auction. And we're charging $10 for that. And of course, children under 12 and under get in free for that event. And again, that's a fundraiser to help us with funding the museum. And we, like I said, we did raise over $5,000 last year, and we're hoping to increase that this year. The other thing that we launched last year was a 5K race called Museum Miles Race Through History. It was held earlier this spring, and we're going to do it again in 2025. The dates have been set for February 22nd, 2025. And we had more overhead costs involved in that event, but we're going to do that again this year. And we did make money last year. We're hoping we can raise additional sponsorships and have more participation in it to grow it, to make it somewhat like the Frostbite, which is obviously a big event for Starkville. I think we had over 50, 55 people that participated in that last year. This year we're going to have the route start at the museum and go through the historic part of town and then end at the museum. Last year it started at the museum and ended up in the Cotton District, and that just became logistically challenging. But we've been working with the city planning committee, and they've been great to work with, and really appreciate all the assistance that they've provided. The other thing that we do, of course, is have a membership drive, and we have over 250, close to 300 people who become members of the Friends of the Museum, and they provide obviously funding annually. And we raise about $8,000, give and take, each year. Sometimes we had been as high as $9,000, so we're very pleased about that. And we certainly have a lot of involvement from the community, and people are interested in seeing this continue. And then over the years, we've also applied for grants. And last year, we applied for a grant from Fort County, and they gave us $7,500 that we've used for a variety of projects. As many of you know, the grounds, and Corey can probably talk about this better than I can, but the grounds were developed by MSU landscape architecture faculty and students, and there are a variety of signs throughout the gardens that talk about how the gardens were created and why they were created and the way they were created. So those needed to be updated because it's probably been 14 years. 14 years.
Really?
It's almost, maybe 13 or so. So they had become faded and whatnot, so we needed to replace those and update those. And then we wanted to update the lighting on the outside of the building. And then, as Derek mentioned, the master gardeners, Ottawa County master gardeners, they maintain the gardens now. So we needed to provide them with some funding to help them with their work, supplies, additional plants, refreshing the ground and whatnot. So we provided them with some money. And then purchasing computers and office supplies. And then also, Derek mentioned the intern that was hired. We provided some of the funding for that, as well as funding for the new signs that's in the building. And the landscape intern, that's right. There's an MSU student through landscape architecture that comes and helps with the grounds on the front side of the building.
Okay, nice. Well, thank you very much. Any questions?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Not a question. I'm sympathetic to venues and those darn bands getting more expensive. I would offer Walton Jones, the Episcopal priest in town, and myself play a lot of music together. We don't have the firepower for a gala, but a wine and cheese thing, we'd be more than happy to donate that or play for free. You'll need some chicken wire so nobody hits us or anything. But if you haven't heard him,
I've
he's
seen
quite
that movie.
good and pretty well known for what he does. So just keep that in mind. It might raise a
You do
little.
Christmas music as well?
Not an evening's worth of Christmas music, but enough where, yeah,
That
we
might be
could.
good for the festival of Grace.
We've done Christmas parties, but at any rate, just throwing that out there.
Can I add something real quick?
Certainly.
I'm not sure when the last time I came and talked to the group here in a working session, maybe 3 years ago, something like that. When I came, it was by myself at the time, but we were planning to hire an executive director, and we're really pleased with what Derek's been able to do, because it's really, as you can see based on the numbers and participation, to make the museum grow to the next step of participation beyond not only so much you can do with a volunteer organization. And so having his leadership to organize volunteers and to manage the day-to-day kind of operations. The board is here to support. The board, as you probably know, is made up of 4 city members and 4 county members. And I represent one of the city positions. And so we oversee Derek and his work along with the students. And then he reports to us, but then all decisions are made by the board as far as what sessions we take in or how to create a budget for the year and things like that. So that's how we kind of operate day to day. So, but overall, from where we started 3 years ago to make the shift, I'm really pleased to see the transition that the museum's made to making it a much more active participant in the community. I think we were very good at collecting stuff in the past, but programming and the active programming that we're doing, I think it's made a huge difference to what the museum offers to this community. So thank you again for the support that you give.
Well, I think it's really cool y'all have had programs, and I've attended a couple of them. So yeah, it's been fun to be a part of that. So yes, ma'am.
Would you talk a little bit, Corey, about the pavilion? And I noticed that it's available to rent for events, how it's an award-winning design and that sort of thing.
Sure, I'd be happy to brag about that.
Okay, do it.
As Stephen mentioned, the landscape was all done by students and faculty over a number of years, starting in 2009 to 2012-ish. So the signs really are that old. And some of that was done with architecture department as well, and we collaborated on the pavilion. The structure, steel structure, was the gas station awning that was in front of Stromboli's. So it was repurposed and redesigned, and that was, we were approached by the Smithsonian's National Museum of Design to have that project and an exhibit in New York years ago. So it's pretty well known project actually, especially from a student project that actually got built. So we're really proud of that at the university, but also the museum, very proud of it. And I don't know the rate for rental off the top of my head, so maybe Derek knows, but we've had showers and baby showers and wedding showers and a few other things there in the past. It was really heavily used during COVID. Almost daily, people met there to meet up with friends. But we like to think of that corner as a sort of neighborhood park for that little area. And so I think it's helped to serve that purpose quite well.
Thank you.
All right, anyone
Thank
else?
you.
Okay, thank you, everyone, appreciate it. Appreciate what you do. All right. Okay, we're thinking about the Methodist bake sale here. We'll move rapidly into the agenda. We've got 2 sets of minutes. Mr. Huskisson, they're good to you, and Ms. Harden, you're good to roll? Consent for those? All right. Do consent for those too. We've got some employee introductions that we'll be doing, and I'll try to remember to mention the parade and Thanksgiving and the holiday schedule and that sort of thing. We're going to have public hearings. This will be our 3rd and final. We'll either do it or not do it as it reflects the food sales and the security camera installation and that sort of thing. So we will have that discussion at the next meeting. We'll have the 2nd public hearing and consideration to amend the Unified Development Code. And Daniel, anything about that one that has come up for discussion?
It's come up the same as presented last time, which is more formalized.
Okay, all right, so all of those will be public hearings. Then we'll have public hearings on various and sundry code items. One of them is a vacant lot, 7186 Mississippi Highway 182, and then we've got a vacant lot 409 Highway 12, and then 608 Yellow Jacket Drive, which is the old radio station that they mowed it one time before, but we didn't put it on the agenda, so this time we're going to put it on because it needs to be done again and we need to be able to keep up with it. And then Lot 4, Laurel Point Final Plat, Academy Road, is that large parcel there that, again, continues to kind of be unsightly. I think they've mowed it again, but I don't want to have to keep going back to them every time. So those are on there for that purpose. Under the mayor's business, we've got the holiday schedule, which Mr. Ashford has put together. There he is. Oh, you are here. Okay. Wasn't sure he was going to be here. Mr. Ashford put together, so it is the same as we have done in the past. It's the days and then the authorization if the governor provides for the additional 2 days associated with Thanksgiving and Christmas. So consent for that one. Okay. Under board business, we've got Mary Love Taggart, who is coming up for reappointment. She's expressed to me an interest in being reappointed to the Solid Waste Management Authority, so consent for that one. She has enjoyed that, she says, and I think she's been a very good member. And then we have Alderman Vaughn has asked us to do a reconsideration of these 2 items under the that we took up last time, or time before last, 203 Ware and 409 McKee. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, it's just trying to find some clarity, because the guy did ask for a year, the one down on McKee Street. And he did ask for a year, and we're just really concerned that we do give him a year to try to get to. I'm thinking about it more about the cold months coming up, and just they got to go evict him to find somewhere to go, and then the guy on West Street. I'm intending to visit him sometime before Tuesday, and try to come up with some clarity what his plans are.
Okay. All right. Steen, you have been in contact with Dr. Lamb, have you not recently?
Not this week.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said you were
I've
going
tried to reach out to him and
haven't been able to get up with him. Okay. The last word we got from him is he was getting a contractor. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, but we haven't heard anything further. No contractors come forward. Okay. All right.
And I just don't want to devolve into too much of a discussion here, but I'm very supportive of what Alderman Vaughn is doing. And with Dr. Lamb's situation, since his is going to involve construction, I just want us to be sure that we have some checkpoints to be sure that he's staying on schedule.
Right. Yeah, that's understandable. I agree with
Okay. All right. Well, we will take that up on Tuesday.
that. Thank you.
All righty. Under airport, this is just a declaration of a surplus and selling on Gov Deals. There's consent for that one. Community development, Daniel, we have a final plat approval.
Yes, this is the Ackerson property that's right before you get on campus on University and College View. And it's currently 3 lots. They're just going to reconfigure the 2 lots.
Okay, all right. Any discussion that we need to know about as it relates to P and Z or unanimous approval?
This is a minor subdivision.
Okay, so it didn't fall. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, all right. In that case, consent for that one, all right. And then the Amanda Jacobs for the BOAA. All right, she's Ward 1, so. All right, engineering, Cody, we've got the consideration of Neil Schaefer as a preferred consultant, and this is on the Highway 12 roundabout, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Any issue, consent for that? Okay. And rejecting bids for Lampkin and Montgomery Street, Cody said that the bids were way high.
We didn't have the bidder turnout that we thought we would,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get more interest. The two bids we got, one was not valid, we had rejected, and the other was. you could tell
So
it was not
basically, we
serious.
only had one bid.
It was not a serious bid.
Okay, all right, so consent for that one?
All right with me?
Okay. Then we have claims docket, which we will skip, and then the financial statements. Anything about the financials that you want to share with us?
Utilities was able to provide not a complete financials, but they're there. So due to their software glitches that they're having.
Okay, so what we have,
But we will substitute, if we get something by Tuesday, we will present it. But I'll talk to Will, but what we have is preliminary.
okay, yes, ma'am.
And I'd like to say, if anybody actually looks at that and looks at the bottom line for the general fund, don't get the vapors when you see the loss that we're running right now. That's just typical. It's about $4 million.
This time of year.
This time of year until taxes start coming in, property taxes start coming in. So,
Okay,
And Webb did some net sales tax reports this morning.
yes, I saw. Not as robust as I would like. Yeah. Okay, consent for that one? Financials? Okay. All right, under HR, Mr. Ashford, have we got anything, we've got one discipline item, and then the others are, they're all replacement items. So any concerns about any of that? Consent for those? All right. Parks, and this is approval of a change order for the splash pad expansion and adding 6 days. We need to set a date. Have we?
I think they'll be finished, I think their contract time ends November 24th.
Okay.
So we get really close, there'll be a punch list, a few cleanup items, I think mid-December would be safe,
Okay.
so that's what we're looking at right now.
All right, before the Christmas
Before the
season
holidays, yes,
is pretty
ma'am.
much hard. Okay, we'll get back, but we will set a date. Okay, all right. Consent for the change order?
Consent.
Okay. And police, we've got requesting 6 vehicles. This falls within their budget, so consent for that one?
Consent.
Okay. And then last but not least, Edward is on the line still, I believe, and he's got numerous items on here. Anything in particular you want to highlight, Edward?
Item 1 is just the summary change order to close out that Azalea Tank repainting project. So completed that and just kind of reconciling the final contract with the final payment amount.
Yeah, I noticed there's a decrease of a whopping $40.
I know.
Okay. Consent for
Item
that one?
2,
Consent.
Item 2 is just to declare surplus some meters that we pulled out of service and do not want to reinstall those. There is some value of those on the open market, so to sell those in bulk.
Okay, we'll consent for those, okay?
Item 3 is the authorization to surplus a piece of equipment that is on the verge of failure, surplus it, and then also authorize to purchase a replacement piece of it's a mini excavator that we use pretty much on a daily basis.
This is a replacement Bobcat, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, consent for that one? Okay.
Item 4 is just to purchase some fire hydrants to refresh our warehouse stock.
Okay, consent for that?
Item 5 is a task order with Neil Schaefer to do it and just basically start the process on rehabilitation of our Curry Street well. That's the first well in our prioritized comprehensive evaluation that we need to attack first. So it's just the engineering design and inspection associated with that.
Okay, consent for that one? Okay.
Item 5 item 6 is related to, again, something from our comprehensive evaluation on the water side. one of the highest priorities is to rehabilitate the Bluefield water treatment plant. So this is a task order to bring on Neil Schaefer to help us with the design and the construction document development for that project.
Okay, consent for that one. And then your last two, Ed, were the emergency authorizations?
Yes.
Okay, and those were, you want to just tell the board what those were for?
Yeah, briefly, we had a well that went down. We initially thought it was a soft start issue, which it was. And that was actually item 8. I got the mayor to approve the purchase of that, which was $6,500. We did get 2 quotes for that. This was a low quote. This was a day they're running together, but it was earlier this week. And then once we got that completed, we realized that the motor, the pump motor, actually need to be rewound. So we got 2 quotes to do that, and we actually pulled the pump this morning, got the mayor's approval, and then got 2 quotes, got mayor's approval on the low quote, and it's about a 5-day turnaround to have that motor repaired and back in service. So we're hoping by the end of next week, we'll have that well on Montgomery back up.
Okay, and these were emergency authorizations in order to get that well going, so consent for both of those. All right, that takes us to the end of the agenda. We will have an executive session, which you should have those materials in your packet. And that will give you information for which to make judgments on come Tuesday. So, anybody, anything? We know we've got first regional soccer tournament this weekend.
Saturday.
MSU is number 1, the girls are number 1, so.
Number 1 seed in that
Yeah,
region.
absolutely. So very exciting to have visitors in town. And if there's nothing else, then we will adjourn. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend.